it's not that great.
They can give a masterclass on that.
I feel like little bit privileged.
And we will come back to see it again.
The largest exhibition of Johannes Vermeer's paintings has opened at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. But within 3 days of the opening, tickets simply sold out. A few days before the opening, I was invited to a special preview. People had come from all over the world to admire the 28 meticulous yet dreamlike paintings made by this master of the Dutch Golden Age. These people didn't need to try hard to feign interest, which I really see quite often at modern art shows. No, there was genuine excitement. There seemed to me to be a real vibe. So, in case you wouldn't believe me, I whipped out my camera and interviewed some of the people who came out of the building. So, what did they make of the exhibition? How and when did you hear about the exhibition?
I'm a Friends member, so I got emails about it, and well, it was a bit hard to miss. There's quite a bit of noise around it, so I was excited to come and see it.
Oh, well, I work for the Frick Collection, and we're one of the lenders, so I was aware that this might happen a couple of years ago, and we only decided to lend officially in the last year, and I was really excited to have our institution be a part of it.
Were you involved in the process?
On the side, only on the side.
You can't escape it when you live in Amsterdam now, eh?
Oh, we are friends of the Rijksmuseum, so we know that.
Right.
So that's not a point.
That, and also we know Johannes Vermeer for years and years.
Yeah.
He's a great painter.
Right.
History. So we know him from Delft and The Hague, Maurits House.
In promoting the exhibition, they used details of the Vermeer paintings as opposed to the entire works. What do you think of that strategy? Does that work, or is it just confusing to people?
That's a very interesting question, because I was thinking about it too. We're so used to buying the whole image or the face. And for the Frick work, in fact, it's a detail more of the jacket. But I think in a way that's a little universal, because it doesn't necessarily indicate that it's our work, but it makes you think about the yellow jacket you see in many works. And it's fresh. I think it's fresh.
Okay, so hats off to the Rijksmuseum.
Yes!
I work at an auction house in the Netherlands, in The Hague, which is called the Venduhuis. And the interesting connection between the Venduhuis and the Vermeer exhibition is that one of the highlights, as I say it, which is the girl with the pearl earring, was once sold at our auction house. But then, at the time, it was around 1860, I believe, somewhere. It was not recognized as a Vermeer because it was very dirty and it has to be cleaned. And there were two gentlemen from The Hague who were connoisseurs, I think I can say. They had a feeling like this is a sleeper, as we call it in our profession. So nobody is sure, and they decided not to bid against each other. So the gentleman who bought it, although I must say I've forgotten his name right now, I believe he bought it for about 2 guilders and some cents, which was, well, a rather amount at that time, and for an unknown painting. And it turned out to be the Vermeer, the girl with the pearl earring.
Were your expectations met by the exhibition, or were you sorely disappointed?
No. Absolutely met. It's just so amazing to have the opportunity to see so much of his work together. And I was thinking about how he would never have anticipated this opportunity. And I thought that as I looked at the yellow jacket from painting to painting, and certain things you see in different works, thinking about what Vermeer might have thought of this very strange but exciting opportunity.
What do you think he would have thought?
Oh, I think he would have been stunned, but very moved by the widespread love for his work and the way people look so closely. And you learn something each time you look at a painting. I think that would have moved him very much.
Yeah, no, it really met my expectations. It was stunning to see all of it pulled together from all of these different places. from an artist where he was not very prolific. He only had 37 works, I believe. So I think 28 of them, if I recall correctly, are here. So it's pretty amazing to see it all together in one place.
I think they were met because many of the paintings I already knew, but seeing them together, it gets like a kind of rhythm I didn't expect beforehand, because you always saw one or two separate. I think I've almost seen them all, but then it makes difference.
But I feel you're hesitating a little bit, so
Well, some of the paintings I remembered, like the girl with the pearl. With the others, it was one of the most famous and one of the supposed one to be one of the best. And now seeing the others, I find it a little bit flat. Seeing the others, which are much more come to life.
but
Yeah.
that's good, I suppose, because you've
Yeah,
come to appreciate the other paintings as
I
well.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure and feast to see his paintings. It's just unbelievable.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
What was your personal highlight?
Well, it was very exciting for me to see our works in this context because they have never traveled this way before.
Yeah, I liked a lot of it. I mean, the girl with the pearl earring is, of course, an amazing thing to see up front and in person, and it's almost hard to believe that you're actually seeing it in person. I don't think I have seen it in person, so that was the highlight for me.
Was it different to what you expected it to be?
A bit smaller, I guess, actually. A bit smaller, a bit sort of shinier, and a bit more sort of almost impressionist in some ways, in that it was of course much later, but it was really interesting to see.
You could see that I've taken many detailed photographs of the textiles, but also in general. And there were some items which I've never seen before in real life. And now you can almost feel the paintings.
But you see the development and all the different pieces which are linked together. And you see he used the same furniture, the same places which are painted. So that's really interesting to have the whole picture.
And then this exhibition will end on the 4th of June. Do you have any dream exhibitions that you would like to see at the Rijksmuseum?
Well, I love the Impressionists, but I'm not sure if that fits within the Rijksmuseum. But I would like to see the different Expressionists coming together as well, because you also see one or two separated in the museum.
Ooh, there are so many things which are beautiful to see. Well, I personally am also interested in paintings covering flowers, the flower still lifes from the 17th century, especially in the 18th century. So if I could have one really big exhibition about still lifes with flowers, I would be very happy and coming back.
I like Terborg. Have I said that right?
Terborg.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love his work. I've seen a major show in the U.S. about 15 years ago at the Wadsworth Atheneum, and I've never seen another gathering of his work like that before. And that would be a dream.
Nou, wij vonden het toch wel top.
Ja, we zijn en trots op een prachtig museum en geweldig.